This lesson is let T such that R2 is mapped to R3 be a linear transformation such that this linear transformations find X such that T of X is -1, 4, and 9. Okay, so this is the linear transformations. Rewrite this linear transformation into matrix form. I have line 1, line 2, line 3, okay? And we only have two variable, which is x1 and x2. So now we use these coefficient to make matrix A. So I have 1, -2, -1, 3, 3, -2. Okay, so these coefficients will become our matrix A, and I only have two variables, which is x1 and x2. So this is our matrix A, and we're going to use -1, 4, 9, which is for the last column, to find the solution so that I can get -1, 4, and 9. Okay, again, line 1, line 2, line 3, and change this into matrix form. So matrix A is 1, -2, 1, -2, -1, 3, -1, 3, 3, -2, 3, -2 with two variable x1 and x2. So this is our matrix A. I have here, using this information, -1, 4, 9, to get the solution so that I can get -1, 4, and 9. Okay, so our objective is to find the solution from here so that it will come out to be -1, 4, and 9. Okay, so here's a 1, so it stays. This is a 1, so it will stay. Leave it alone. We need this to be a 0. We need this to be a 0. So again, this is a 1. Leave it alone. -1 needs to be a 0. 3 needs to be a 0. So the opposite of -1, +1. Opposite of 3, -3. Okay, so 1 times 1 gives me 1. Subtract 1 gives me 0. 1 times -2 is -2, plus 3 gives me 1. 1 times -1 is -1, plus 4 gives me 3. Repeat this process for row 3. -3 times 1 is -3, plus 3 gives me 0. -3 times -2 gives me +6. Subtract 2 gives me 4. -3 times -1 gives me +3. +3 plus 9 gives me 12. Okay, next, as you can see, this is already a 1, so we leave it alone. So row 1, row 2, leave it alone because I have a 1 and a 1. Next, I need this 4 to be a 0, so opposite of 4 will be -4. So -4 times row 2 plus row 3. So -4 times 1 is -4, plus 4 gives me 0. -4 times 3 gives me -12. -12 subtract -12 plus 12 gives me 0. And we are completely done. No more solving. Okay, so here I have x1, x2 equal -1, x2 equal -3, which I wrote it over here. So x1 minus 1x1 minus 2x2 equal -1. Okay, so solve for x1. So now I have x2, which is 3. So x2 is 3. Again, this first row is here. The second row, which is here. We know that x2 is 3. So take this 3, substitute into x2, which I wrote over here. And then I end up with -6. And then bring the 6 over by doing the opposite. So instead of -6, plus 6. So negative 1 plus 6 gives me positive 5. So our solution is 5, 3. One more time. This right here will be our first row. This right here is our second row. Our second row already solved, so we know that x2 is 3. Take this variable, plug it into here. So replace this x2 with a 3, which I wrote over here. 2 times 3 gives me negative 6. Bring the 6 over, gives me positive 6. So negative 1 plus 6 gives me positive 5. So my answer is 5, 3. Now let's check if this is true. Put in the 5 and the 3 up here to see if I will get negative 1, 4, and 9. Okay, so 5 is x1, 3 is x2. So 5, 3, so 5 minus 2 times 3, so 5 will be, so 5 minus 6, which gives me negative 1. Right here, I put 5, so that's negative 5. 3 times 3 will gives me 9, so negative 5 plus 9 gives me 4. Put the 5 in here, that gives me 15. Put the 3 in here, gives me 6. So 15 subtract 6 gives me 9. So this solution is true because when I put this solution in this, it will become negative 1, 4, 9. Again, this solution is true. When I plug it into here, I will get negative 1, 4, 9. Okay.